from the Ticats Audio Network. This is Ticats Today with Louie Butko.
Yes, it is Ticats Today for a Tuesday, September the 27th, 2022. Thanks for checking us out on the Ticats Audio Network. Really do appreciate it, even on the bye week, as the Ticats, hitting their third and final bye week of the season. They're back in action on October the 7th. That is a Friday night when they take on the Saskatchewan Roughriders. That's also going to be the Wall of Honor induction night. Yeah, special night as we add Danny McManus to the Wall of Honor at Tim Hortons Field. It's going to be part of a whole celebration of whole weekend of celebrations, excuse me. It's the bye week, okay? Give me a break. A whole weekend of celebrations, which includes a special induction dinner that's taking place on Thursday, October the 6th at Carmen's Banquet Center. Tickets are $125, but includes dinner, an open bar. There's going to be a gift bag that's going to be given away as well. And there's lots going on from 99 guys. Darren Flutie's going to be there. Rob Hitchcock, Andrew Grigg, Mike Moriali, Dave Hack. And in addition to the Danny Mac induction honor, it's also a 50th reunion of the 1972 Grey Cup Championship team. And among those that will be attending, Bob Krause, Gardy Henley, Chuck Ely, Gary Inskeep, Jim Papai, Bob Richardson, and this guest here. Very pleased now to be joined by Ticats legend, a Burlington native, Tony Gabriel. And Mr. Gabriel, thank you so much for doing this. First of all, 50-year reunion of the 1972 Grey Cup champion. Does it feel like it's been 50 years?
Well, I'm 73 now, and I'm very happy to still be standing on this side of the grass, as they say. But, the memory never fails, never fades, never gets old. The fact is that for me, looking back as a hometown boy from Burlington, Ontario, to be on that field playing for the Ticats and winning the cup at home in 72 was it's indelibly written.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned some of the teammates. You said up to 11 guys we know will be coming. Bob's going to be there. Garney, Chuck, Gary as well, and a great list of people who will be at Carmen's. This is next Thursday. When you guys get back together to do these kind of things, how easy is it to just fall back on old times and the stories just start rolling out?
Well, I think that it's fantastic that the Ticats and the Alumni Association, you're interviewing me today. It's marvelous for getting back individuals that I haven't seen for 50 years. And at the same time, to catch up again with a good friend like Bob Richardson. We're in a poker group together too, by the way. So we
do you take his money more than he takes yours, or what?
That's why I'm in the group, right? To be able to spread it around. But to be able to get back occasionally, like in the Grey Cup last year in Ham, I was there for the luncheon on December 10th. And I'll mention, Chuck Ely coming back was fantastic. I hadn't seen him for years. And of course, he was a key component to our victory. And then who also surprised me, and we haven't mentioned, was the most outstanding player in the league in 1972, Garny Henley. Now, Garny lives in South Dakota. So, and I trust that his health is pretty good. He looked really ready, to enjoy his, I think he's about mid-80s right now. Yeah. But being that he was the best player in the league, having him come back for us in this occasion is awesome.
Yeah, you mentioned it. You're rejuvenated when you see these guys, aren't you? You feel like you can strap the helmet and pads and get back out there, right?
I don't think so. Not with two knee operations on my right knee, and at the same time, I used to be able to run or ski or whatever.
Yeah.
Those kind of things, Louis, don't happen anymore. But I still try to take care of myself. I don't weigh too much differently than I did back then. But another key guy that should be there is another Burlingtonian that played with the Burlington Braves and was just a rookie starting with us that year, Ian Sunter, our kicker. And of course, we're tied 10-10, last play of the game. And Garney Henley's, who held for him, said, just kick it straight through. And he did. It split the uprights to win 13-10.
That's always good advice for kickers. Just right through, right?
Well, it begs for a comment where, he was a rookie, Ian, and at the same time, to be put in that position to win a Grey Cup, last play of the game against a tough Regina squad led by Ron Lancaster and George Reed was fantastic.
Yeah, and like you say, in Hamilton to do it, another Burlington boy, and you guys get to celebrate. You were pretty young yourself, though. You mentioned that. I mean, were you 23, 22 when you were on that team?
I had graduated from Syracuse probably in about my 23rd, 24th year in 1971, the year before. I was a rookie. And to make the team, be able to start at tight end by my second, I had started for a while, but I lost a little bit of that momentum early in the season in the year before. When I had quarterbacks like we had Joe Zuger, Wally Gabler at the helm. And it took me a year to develop, I think. And I was very fortunate to end up in 72 with, here's a quarterback, Chuck Ely, that had never lost a college game. He had won 35 in a row. He was 8th in the Heisman Trophy race. And here he was my quarterback. And we had great chemistry. But I got to tell you something. Just in that game, just to finish off, we get our defense gets us the ball back on about our 15-yard line, but a minute and change left. Chuck had not looked at me all day for 59 minutes. We had great guys like Tommy Joe Coffey at split end and Garney catching. And so what happens, I don't know if you know this part, but all of a sudden, this flood pattern, 59, where I come from the left side up through the middle, and he hits me for about 20 some odd yards. And he calls the same play again, but I get man to man and I have to break off, and we get about 14 yards. And then finally, he calls a hook pattern, button hook, about 12 yards or so, which I caught, but I got hit in a sensitive area. And thankfully, Louis, the next play, I was asked to block. And Garney Henley catches a pass sort of behind him that brought us into field goal range. Dave Buchanan, our running back, took the ball in for a few yards. I think it was about the 37. And that was that magic of the Garney holding for Ian Sunder to win 13-10.
Wow.
We've lost quite a few guys just to finish this off, Louis, that, from Ange Mosca, Dave Fleming, a great running back. Most of our line, like John Holman, Bill Danichuk, Ed Chalupka, we've lost quite a few guys over the years. And it's sad when you talked about the 50 years going by very quickly. That it's part of life, and we lost even my other teammate, Gord Christian, was a tight end with me. We lost Tommy Joe Coffey. It's just when I look back, that's also in their memory that we're coming to the dinner at Carmen's and feeling that this is a great occasion, where maybe a couple of dozen of us are left being able to attend, a few others that probably, are too far away to come. But we're so happy to be honored with Danny McManus. Now, I've had some pretty good quarterbacks, but Danny McManus was a wonder to watch in operation. When I looked at some of his statistics, Louie, he threw 259 touchdowns, and I believe one of the greatest tandems that I'd seen. He had Darren Flutie as one of his wide receivers, and I believe it was in 1999 that we won the Grey Cup.
Yep.
And so to have watched them, I'd had seasons tickets for years, of course, and have lived in the Burlington area here for many years after I finished playing. I had moved back from Ottawa back in 1983 and then became a Ticats seasons ticket holder in the years to follow.
So, I mean, that's what's great. And I you mentioned the luncheon last year at the Grey Cup. That was at End Zone, and it was so great to see the different generations of Ticats legends, and whether, it's Sandy Beveridge who played in the 2010s, or it's guys like you. There is really a shared connection that, hey, this guy was never on the line with me. He never blocked for me, but he wore the black and gold, and I know what that means.
You bet. And when I have enjoyed all the years, some are better than others, right? But when you can at least experience, and as you said in another, I think Danny McManus, he started in about 1990. I had finished in 1981. So it was less than 10 years the next decade that Danny comes into his forefront, well-deserved to be put on the wall of honor. And at the same time, there was another great quarterback, Doug Flutie, Darren's brother, of course, that I think he won 6 most outstanding player awards. But in the round of some of the greats that I've enjoyed playing with, I'm talking about quarterbacks. Danny McManus was voted, I think, in the top 50 in the CFL on the TSN poll.
Yeah,
and with his brother, with Darren.
Yeah. Well, you were on that list too, weren't you, Tony? Don't sell yourself short here, my friend. Hey,
I think
you were on that list as well.
I think I was at one time. I don't know if I think I was 18.
I think so too.
Like
I think I remember seeing you there.
That
Well,
was nice to be to mention. Louie,
of course. Go for it.
Talk with you and finish off.
No, you got as much time as you want.
Grey Cup ring.
Yeah.
But and I was showing you before we started, but I proudly wear it and each day as a constant reminder of something that happened. They can't take it away.
No, absolutely not. And I will point out that the relationship with the Ticats alumni, especially in the last few years, I've talked to a lot of guys who have told me that they've really appreciated the effort that that the team is putting in and that the guys are putting in to really celebrate, because it wasn't always this way, right?
That is a sad fact that some communication gaps and years lagged, but I think that there's been a strong proponent with Bob Young as owner that has taken all these collective years in trying to do as much for the fans, for the players, as well, to retain the glory in the past. And I was really quite pleased on this note that our local company has been brought in by Bob Young with Stelco.
Mhm.
I think they own about 40% of the team now.
I don't know the exact numbers, but they are a proud ownership group.
Well, I don't
absolutely.
have the
I
inside
don't.
knowledge.
They
But
don't
my
give me
point
access
is-
to the books, Tony. They don't give me access to the books, or else I'd change a couple of zeros in my paycheck. But
Well-
yeah, your point about the local connection, and as a Burlington kid, and Danny Mac was always praised for how much he embraced Hamilton, and it really is, to your point, a show from ownership how important this relationship is.
Very much so, and I think this is and still continuous signs, whether it's improvements on the field, the surrounding, bringing the Canadian Football Hall of Fame to Tim Hortons Field, and I believe that just as you and I have talked about coming back to Carmen's, which is a great location for Danny McManus on the wall. I think they've only got room for 2 more guys on that wall based on what I was looking at. Anyways, to my point, to have a gentleman who I was honored to play with that played both ways, defense and offense, with Garney Henley, and knowing that he's coming back with a great like Chuck Ely. I don't know if you know this, that this year was the last year that he could be inducted into the College Hall of Fame in the States.
Yep.
And he is. He's going to be put in. And so I'm honored to be part of the group on both hands that are coming back to the dinner.
Yeah, I remember talking to Chuck when that was announced that he was getting into the College Football Hall of Fame. Definitely took long enough, but it was great to see him up there. And I know I hear you that you're measuring out how many spots are left, Tony. In a couple of years.
On the wall.
Yeah, on the wall. What are you hinting at there? Are you saying there?
Well, we've got Danny getting up there deservedly. And, again, I always credited my success to my quarterbacks. And it would have been something, to have been, to play with Danny would have been something special too.
Yeah, and my uncle's Mike Kerrigan, so I understand the 1980 that team there.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So the 1986 team, I've heard all those stories, so it's always nice to get to hear stories about.
That's another Grey Cup team, right? 86.
Of course, yeah. 72, 86, and 99. It's I love how those come together, and back to that point about sharing this special bond. Not only did you win the black and gold, you made it to the ultimate peak, right? You won the championship. So that extra level of effort that it took, and what makes these events being able to share them with guys who won in 86 or guys in 99. Yeah. Again, not on the same team, but still teammates.
It's so true, Louie, everything that you've said as well. There are some players that never get to the cup. I was giving someone the statistic today of an average lifespan, an average time that a pro ball player gets to stay in the CFL. Statistically, it's only 3.5 years.
Yeah.
It's not, and I was fortunate to have 11. So some people don't get the opportunity to make it that far, but I finished my career, just to let you know on your point, in a Grey Cup, playing with Ottawa. We were only with J.C. Watts as our quarterback. He took us as underdogs to Edmonton by 3 touchdowns. We were underdogs, right?
Yeah.
And playing in Montreal, my last game, and I had a knee brace on my left knee because I had partially torn ligaments and cartilage. We were ahead in that game, Louie, 20-1 at halftime against Warren Moon and the vaunted Edmonton Eskimos. I don't know if I can call them Eskimos.
The Edmonton team. Yeah, they were the Eskimos at the time, the Edmonton team.
And unfortunately, in the second half, they came back. They tied us at 23-23 and took the cup away with six seconds left by Dave Cutler with a field goal to win 26-23. But that was my last game.
Yeah.
It was always a disappointment to finish my career on, some people will remember this as a double interference call. I don't know if you know that what happened in the last few minutes.
No, what happened?
JC Watts was scrambling. I was coming back. I think his name was Gary Hayes, was pulling me on my sweater as I was trying to get back. I catch it with one arm. And then the flag goes out and the referee, I don't know if he was from the West, I heard he was, called double interference. He said that I had been pushing prior to the catch. I was coming back towards JC. When you ever see this play, and I don't want to be sour grapes on this as we're talking about
of course
going
not.
to this, let's call it championship dinner, but 2 out of 3 is not bad. 72, 76, which they call the catch. I say, thank God I didn't drop it. And then we almost won in 81. So this has been great, Louie, to be able to review with you before the dinner on October the 6th. And just hope to see a lot of great fans come out to honor Danny deservedly, and see some of our old teammates gather and in looking at the black and gold in 72.
Yeah, it should be.
It is. There's proof.
There it is. And like you say, you got it. You get to wear it. And every day, a nice reminder of what you were able to accomplish. And we're excited to get to celebrate this team at the Wall of Honor dinner. Also, the 50th reunion of the 1972 Grey Cup champion team, which, of course, Tony Gabriel, my guest, was a part of. Tony, great to hear some of your stories. I can't wait to hear a few more next week.
So are you going to be there?
I'm going to try my best now that I've gotten the taste. I'm going to try my best.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, okay. Absolutely. Thanks for this, Tony.
Thanks for having me.
And my thanks to Tony Gabriel for joining me, Canadian Football Hall of Famer, and also a member of the 1972 Grey Cup champions, which will be celebrating their 50th reunion as part of the Danny McManus induction ceremony dinner, which is happening on the Thursday before the game. So the game's on the 7th, and the dinner is on the Thursday. And you can actually go if you want to join us. Tickets can be purchased by going to ticats.ca. It's happening on Thursday, October 6th at the Carmen's Banquet Center. The reception is 5:30. The dinner is at 6:30. Ceremony starts at 7:30, and each $125 ticket includes dinner, open bar, souvenir item, and a ticket. And many members of the 1972 Grey Cup team will be there. So hopefully you'll find it to join us, because it should be a great night. And if Tony's he's excited to tell those stories, I can't wait to see what other stories he has to tell. Also, Touchdowns and Tastings presented by Peller Family Reserve is back. Get some friends together and register as a group for this fun-filled evening, Thursday, September 29th at Tim Hortons Field. The evening will be hosted by Natalie Sexton, along with Ticats alumni Andy Fantouz and Mike Daly, and includes wine tasting by Peller Family Reserve, on-field football instruction from current Ticats players, a Ticats locker room tour, and a gift bag, plus 2 tickets to an upcoming home game of your choice. That's all for just $95 per person. You can visit ticats.ca for more details. All right, that'll do it for us today. Thanks for checking us out. We are back tomorrow, same time, same place, right here on the Ticats Audio Network. I'm Louie Butko. Hoping you have a great day.
Ticats Today can be heard every weekday, and we would like to hear from you. Email us at gameday@ticats.ca. Have a question or an opinion? We want to hear it. That's gameday@ticats.ca. Subscribe to the Ticats Audio Network on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts.